You're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Amidst the fierce competition in MotoGP this season, Fabio Quartararo sent a strong message to Yamaha. The 2021 world champion openly expressed his confidence that he could beat MARC MARQUEZ, provided he were given a bike with performance comparable to his rivals. Quartararo believes that over the past 2 seasons, his performance has been held back not by his skill on the track, but by the limitations of the M1 engine, which lacks speed on the straights and is less responsive in close combat. He emphasized that if Yamaha could provide an engine and aerodynamic package comparable to the latest Ducati or Honda, he would not only be ready to compete, but confident of beating MARC in a head-to-head battle. These comments were not mere complaints, but rather a form of serious pressure on Yamaha to accelerate the development of the M1. Quartararo also reminded him that MotoGP is a technological war, and even the best riders will struggle without the support of a competitive bike. Now, the spotlight is on Yamaha's response. Will they answer El Diablo's challenge and provide him with enough firepower to challenge the baby alien next season, or will they allow him to continue to struggle alone on the track? And here is the full news. Fabio Quartararo is once again in the spotlight in the MotoGP paddock. The 2021 world champion sent a stern message to Yamaha, one that sounded like an ultimatum. In an interview, Quartararo confidently declared, "I can beat MARC MARQUEZ, if the engine is comparable." This statement is no mere boast. Quartararo has repeatedly proven that he can compete with top riders, even when his bike is lagging behind in terms of power. However, in the last 2 seasons, his M1 has been the subject of frequent criticism for its lack of straight-line performance, slipstream battles, and difficulty maintaining speed in fast corners against Ducati and Honda. According to Quartararo, the main problem isn't skill or a fighting spirit, but rather technology that hasn't caught up with its competitors. He emphasized that with a bike that's comparable, in terms of engine power, stability, and aerodynamics, he is 100% confident he can beat MARC MARQUEZ in a head-to-head battle. In fact, he admitted that he's eager to prove it on the track. These comments clearly signal significant pressure on Yamaha. Quartararo seemed to remind us that MotoGP is a technological war, and even the most skilled rider will struggle if their weapons are blunt. El Diablo hinted that his patience has its limits, and fans began to wonder, was this a sign that Quartararo could leave if Yamaha didn't make improvements soon? For Yamaha, these words were a harsh blow. The Japanese factory team now had to move quickly. The development of a new engine, including speculation about using a V4 configuration, was hotly debated. However, time was running out. If development was too slow, not only would the championship slip away, but Quartararo's future with Yamaha could also be in jeopardy. On the other hand, MARC MARQUEZ must have heard these words. A battle between 2 world champions from different generations would undoubtedly be an extraordinary spectacle, if, and only if, Yamaha could deliver a truly comparable bike. The MotoGP world now waited. Would we see a genuine duel between Quartararo and Marquez at the peak of their powers? Or would this be just another GIF-only that never materialized? Shocking news has come from the Yamaha garage. After months of secrecy, the tuning fork manufacturer has finally revealed the results of its secret V4 engine tests conducted several months ago. This engine was previously touted as the ultimate weapon to restore Yamaha's glory in MotoGP. However, the reality revealed has left fans speechless. In internal testing at a European circuit, data showed that Yamaha's V4 engine was still nearly 2 seconds per lap behind their old inline-4 engine. This is a significant figure, especially in MotoGP, where even 1/10 of a second can determine starting positions and podium chances. In fact, this V4 project represents Yamaha's boldest move in the last 2 decades. They decided to abandon the classic inline-4 DNA that has brought them numerous world championship titles, in order to follow in the successful footsteps of Ducati, KTM, and Honda, which have already mastered the V4 concept. The expectations were clear: higher top speed, brutal acceleration on the straights, and stability in fast corners. However, the technical report circulating within Yamaha suggests otherwise. The V4 engine still struggles to match the cornering stability of an inline engine, its peak power isn't optimal, and its throttle response is considered too wild. In fact, some test riders reportedly complained that the Yamaha V4 felt stiff and difficult to control when exiting slow corners. Inside sources cite two main causes for this performance gap. Yamaha's lack of experience in developing a V4. Unlike Ducati, which has mastered this technology for decades, Yamaha is starting from scratch. Divided focus. Yamaha is still trying to maintain the competitiveness of its current inline engine, so engineering and research resources are being divided. This situation presents a major dilemma. If Yamaha continues to push the V4 debut under these conditions, it risks underperforming in the early season, losing valuable points, and even frustrating riders. However, if it delays, it will fall further behind its rivals who have already polished their V4s to perfection. The question now hangs in the air. Is this the beginning of a revival for Yamaha, or the beginning of a major disaster for their ambitious project? Fans can only wait, as the clock ticks towards the 2026 season, when the V4 is scheduled to make its debut on the track alongside the other speed monsters.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame.